Alright guys, I'm here with the Halloween Horror Nights 2017 review, so let's start. Alright, so no particular order really. We're just going to start from the back lot and then work our way around the upper lot. So, for our first maze review, it's going to be Saw, the games of Jigsaw. Now, this maze has been a Halloween Horror Nights before, a couple of years, and now it's returned because of the new film. So, the front entrance looks like a Jigsaw warehouse that you're entering. The first thing you see is Billy, the little puppet, the Jigsaw used to use. Then after that you get to see Jigsaw's very first ever trap in the films, and then it progresses throughout the films of the best of Saw traps. Now my only problem with this maze was the fact that a lot of this was repeat and some of it was new. I would say about maybe 80% of it was old and 20% was new. The main thing they changed at the very end, the final scene, was based on the new film. But other than that, a lot of the traps have been at Halloween Horror Nights before, so it felt like a very flashback maze to have Halloween Horror Nights. Now, the scares were okay. The set design was pretty good. There wasn't that many black rooms, and what I mean by black rooms is when you enter a room and there's nothing but black walls, and not even a set designer's character, they just put a black room because they either don't have enough time to finish the maze, or that's kind of part of the design, or that's what has to end up happening. I'm not really sure. So anyway, yeah, so this Saw maze is at Halloween Horror Nights this year. It was okay, honestly. I didn't think it was that great when I went through it. I was expecting more, honestly, to see more new traps, a different layout, kind of different sets, but a lot of it was repeat. So I'm rating this out of 5 pumpkins, and this gets a 3 out of 5 pumpkins because of honestly just repeating the same thing. Now, if you're new to Halloween Horror Nights, this is probably really amazing for you, but for us fans that have been there a long time and have experienced Saw before at Halloween Horror Nights, we're kind of used to this traps, and it wasn't very fun to see the old traps coming back to Halloween Horror Nights. So I count this as a repeat, so repeats I'm not too fond of, so that gets a 3 pumpkins out of 5. Now for the next maze is going to be Ash vs. Evil Dead. Now when I heard this maze announcement, I was super excited because I am a huge fan of Evil Dead, the movies and the TV series. I haven't seen season 2 yet, but yeah, I'm a big fan of Evil Dead. That's what kind of got me into horror, was Evil Dead. That was my first movie that I said, wow, this is possible to do in a horror film. I was a huge fan of it, excited when it was announced at Halloween Horror Nights, both here and Orlando, but I only got to see the Hollywood version, and then to find out that a lot of the maze was black rooms is very disappointing. But let's start in the beginning. So the beginning room is a trailer where Ash lives, if you remember from the TV series on Starz. You enter through there, you enter through a couple more scenes after that, and then the maze felt empty to me. There's a lot of empty spaces, and I would say there's a point in the maze when you enter the forest before you enter the Evil Dead house, the cabin. There's this huge long black room. There was too much of a black space in there, and they could have used so much more. They could have put so much more of the show in there, but I don't know what happened, and they weren't able to. So that's the biggest pet peeve I have about this maze. I was super excited, and then I come to find out that a lot of the maze is just black. There's not much going on in there. I wanted to see more, so I'm hoping that next season they bring back I hope next year they bring back Ash vs. Evil Dead, but hopefully put a little bit more into it this time, because I felt like this maze was on the back burner. Now I know John Murray has said that he's a huge fan of Evil Dead as well, so I'm not too sure what happened here, because if you look at Ash vs. Evil Dead in Orlando, in our version, they have so much more going on over there than we do. They have so many more scenes than we do. the very first scene that you enter is the Derby from season 2 in After the Evil Dead in Orlando, and we just get the trailer park, which starts off in season 1. So yeah, this maze really bugged me, the fact that they didn't use everything they had in this maze. Now, what I will say is the pros of this maze is the fact that we got Asher's Evil Dead, and there was masks in there, which were pretty good. I mean, I think they could have just hired actors and just not used the mask, because the mask seems a little too funny to have like Ash with this huge chin. And I know in the show he has a huge chin, but I felt like the masks were a little too much. In Orlando's version, they have actors just portraying as Ash, which I feel is better, but that's just my opinion. But yes, they had the Ash costumes, they had the chainsaw, they had everything from in there. They had Deadites, the Book of the Dead, you can find that in there, in the maze as well. And the pro of this maze was the very ending. The ending I thought was amazing, to have that huge puppeteering Deadite from the show and the films as well. It was just like this monster with this like huge neck. Orlando did not have this, so I thought, wow, this is amazing. Asher's Evil Dead gets 3 pumpkins out of 5. Now the reason why I give it 3 out of 5, I wish they could have added more to this maze. There's too many black rooms. I'm honestly divided between a 3 or a 4, but considering the mazes I have to review still up ahead, I'm going to give this one a 3 out of 5. And let's hope next year that Asher's Evil Dead comes back, but this time they add a lot more to it and give it a lot more space as well. Alright, so now for my next review is American Horror Story Roanoke. Now it's the second year for American Horror Story to be at Halloween Horror Nights, but it's first year doing the season of Roanoke. Now what I'm kind of disappointed off the bat is the fact that they didn't use Asylum or Coven in this year's, but it doesn't mean they're not going to use it in the future. Murdy has said that he's saving it for the future of Halloween Horror Nights, so hopefully we get that. Now the entrance for American Horror Story Roanoke is the same entrance as last year's. We're just like this big curtain entrance that you enter. On top is the Pigman with the red moon behind him. But other than that, that's the same entrance. Now when you go inside the maze, it is totally a different, completely different maze. This is one of my favorite ones down the back lot. Honestly, I thought this one was done really well. There was a lot of references to the show. There was a lot of like aha moments. You could definitely tell that they put a lot of time and effort into this specific maze, and there wasn't even that many black rooms in this one. Honestly, there was a lot of things going on in this maze. Everything was covered with scenic design, lighting was perfect, characters were really good on it. They would get me sometimes. Now the only negative thing I have to say about this maze is the fact that the ending didn't really make much sense. And now if you remember the ending for the maze, there's these like twig men in stilts. And it was a cool scare, but to end it on that note was a little weird. So yeah, I thought American Horror Story was really good. You could definitely tell it's going to come back next year, but either it's going to be Cult, Asylum, or Coven. Who knows what next year holds for American Horror Story at Halloween Horror Nights. I'm pretty sure it's coming now. If it doesn't come, that would be very surprising, and hopefully, I don't know, because Orlando was able to get the Coven and Asylum covered into one maze, and I hope that we're able to get the same. So honestly, for this maze, American Horror Story gets 4 pumpkins out of 5. Now I thought this maze was done really well, but it wasn't perfect. The reason why it wasn't perfect was just because the ending I thought was a little odd. I just think they could have done more with the ending, but other than that, it was a really well thought out maze, so that's why I'm giving 4 pumpkins out of 5. Now, let's hope that it comes back next year, and then hopefully we get Asylum, because that is my favorite season, or even Coven would be interesting. I haven't seen Cult yet, but we're just going to have to wait and see what the future holds for Halloween Horror Nights. Alright, so now to cover the next scare zone that they had in the back lot, it's Urban Inferno. This maze was based basically on hell coming to New York Street. So when you go through the scare zone, there's a lot of, like, you see devils and I don't even know, like, all these things that look like they raised from hell, basically, and are invading New York. I thought this scare zone was done really well, and I'm also going to review scare zones as sections, so that's why I'm talking about Urban Inferno. So I thought the scare zone was really good. I could even see this possibly as a maze in the future, if they needed original content. So this would be definitely interesting to see as a maze version, but it gets a 4 pumpkins out of 5. as we go along the reviews, I'm sure the ratings will go anywhere. But yeah, so that's what I think about that scary zone. Alright, so what do you guys think? Comment below and let me know what you guys think. Do you guys agree, disagree with me about this year's Halloween Horror Nights? I would like to hear your guys' opinion because I feel like this year's Halloween Horror Nights was very mixed, and when I would talk to others, they would kind of be mixed about it as well. So definitely leave your comment below, and I'll catch you guys later. Make sure to subscribe, like, and comment. And this is only part 1. I'm planning to do 2 more parts of this. So make sure to subscribe, like, and comment. I'll catch you guys later, and make sure to check out Allparkaccess on YouTube. Alright, thanks.